Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Tuesday night SOP live broadcast. Tonight, we're not going to cover the news so much as we're going to cover some news. But it is prevalent. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's it.
Hello, Count Dracula.
Thank you. It is prevalent, sort of, to what we do, in the fact that we like to make sure we know what's going on around us and who might be listening to what we're talking about.
That's fine. Sorry.
So let's see who we got in the chat. We got the Evil Twin. There's me. There's Al. Let's see. I think that's Miss Tasha sitting right there and prep for it. We got little Miss Mouse Toes. Please put up your mouse traps. We don't want little toes hurt. And she's going to grab a nibble. So yes, please pick up the traps. We have Creative Redundancy. We have Miss Martha, who you can blame for this evening's festivities because it was her suggestion. There's Michael 58. And there's Miss Nina. And Rebel Canners. She's going to pack boxes and pretend she's paying attention. Gotcha.
I think you missed Maccabeus.
Did I?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Oh, I sure did. I'm sorry, Maccabeus. Too bad nobody else can say it properly. Come on, folks. Read your Bible.
Jehoiadak Maccabeus.
Yep.
I can even say his first name right.
Hi, Mac.
That's the easiest way to say it.
Yep.
All right. So, wow, we're at 10 already. We only just got started. I am thankful and impressed both. So, recently, it's got up in the news a little bit. Something called Amazon Sidewalk. Amazon announced it back in 2019, so it's been around a minute. Amazon uses
back.
Okay. Amazon uses the Bluetooth in your phone or other wireless device that you may be using, as well as your 900 megahertz radio signals without your permission, unless you turn it off. So why does that worry you guys? Well, let's go ahead and ditch this one. I'll leave that one there for a minute because I got to cover it. So, okay. Excuse me a minute. I'm not going to read all of it because I just explained that part of it. I'll drop this link into the chat if it'll fit, so you guys can go read this article on your own because I'm not going to cover the whole thing. And it looked like it worked. So, okay. So it allows Amazon to take and tether your phone to a wireless device that's not yours, that is also has Sidewalk turned on. Let me put it to you this way. Let's say Gil and Al down there at the bottom and me all are walking around a certain neighborhood with Amazon Sidewalk turned on. Well, we're all within 100 yards, say, of each other, and there's a house kind of in the middle of the triangle of us three. And they've got theirs turned on, ATEX, and now I can use his internet, and Gil can use his internet, and Al gets to use his internet. But let's say Al has nefarious methodology in his reasoning for wanting to use Sidewalk. Gil and I are happily typing away on our internet access because we're getting it free now off somebody who is unsuspecting and didn't know they were doing it. Al can now start typing away and hack into Gil's phone, my phone, and the internet guy that was stupid enough to leave Sidewalk enabled on his home computer. Now, all three systems are hacked. Do yourselves a favor. Find out in your settings where Amazon Sidewalk is and turn it off. It is a backdoor. It is software-based, not hardware-based. Therefore, Amazon can bypass your hardware locks unless you turn it off. Hey, Monty. So if you are using Amazon Sidewalk, turn it off now. Go on, go get it done. Oh, you want to know how to turn it off? Well, I'm glad you stuck around long enough to hear me. Go, open the Alexa app. Open the More and select Settings. Select Account Settings. Select Amazon Sidewalk. And gently hit the off button. Don't smash it because you don't need a broken screen like I have a broken monitor right now. Please go turn it off. Thank you. That is your public service announcement for this moment. Let's drop those two. Google's. Wow, it seems like Google, Amazon, Facebook, they're all conspiring against us, don't it? Agreed, Nina. Agreed. First mistake, Alexa, because that's what started the whole thing. So, FLOC is Google's alternative to third-party cookies and based on AI learning, and AI is only as smart as the idiot that programmed it, will allow the browser or any browser to anonymously study how users are browsing, then group them into the word cohorts. Now, in chat, panel, be quiet. In chat, what agency and what designation does the term cohorts mean to you? Before we go any further, we will wait patiently up here on the side. Oh, I better not do that. I'll get dinged for copyright stuff.
Yep.
I don't care.
I'm going to change my name to this.
Uh-oh. Same here, Miss Nina. Same here. Not quite, Mitts. Not quite the CIA. The term cohorts. I'll give you a hint. The police department uses it a lot. Okay, I believe we stumped people. Either that or chat is taking forever to catch up. I'll give it another 30 seconds.
Michael says CIA.
Yeah, I already
Mac
on that.
said it.
No. Well, they're close, but the term is usually used by the police. But when the police use the term cohorts, what do they what are they referring to? Come on, I know we got smart people out here. Think, people. It's easy. Don't think too hard about it. It should come naturally.
If you're thinking too hard, smoke will come out through your ears.
Then you've let out the famous blue smoke, and then you're not working as optimal.
Right.
Okay. Mouse toes, I think, is getting close.
Mouse toe. There we go. Chat finally caught up. It is a specific class of people. You are correct, Galen. And good evening. Mouse toe says the bad crew. Yes, criminals. When a person or group or entity refers to cohorts, they're referring to criminals. So FLOC, Google's alternative to third-party programs and cookies, is going to group you into a group of cohorts. And a so-called smart, intelligent, artificial intelligence, which is an oxymoron. Hey, Wolf Spirit, you're now going to be grouped with other people because the AI said you're all the same type of people. Hey, Prep for it. Welcome back. And it's going to be based on your cohorts. So let's say I just happen to type in, I don't know, quilted beanbags. And, I've got a lot of, I've been doing some research on a couple of products that I actually think are on the way for me to do reviews on. And I think I think it's pretty cool stuff. So you guys might enjoy it. But, I've done some research on these items. And Gil types in for whatever reason. Let's say we're all watching Nina's channel and she said something about quilted beanbags. And so me, Al, and Gil all research it. Well, Gil's main search history is going to be totally different. Maybe he's researching something for his pastures or his barn, and Al's researching, frugal Japan for, he wants to brush up on some of his family history. But seeing as how we all three typed in quilted beanbags or crocheted or whatever, we're all in the same group now. And the computer is going to start sending us all these things on all kinds of stuff that has no business going to me or Gil, or we're getting stuff that we don't want. I really don't want them sending me ads in the first dang place. It's none of their business what I search or what I look at. If I want to look at naked kitty cats sitting on top of a chimney over in Brazil, that's my business. Not that there is such a thing in the first place, but you get my point. Nobody needs to know what I'm doing. I don't ask the government what it's doing because they're going to lie about it in the first dang place anyway. They've proven it time and time and time again so often that it's just accepted as commonplace now. So my business is my business. As long as I'm not breaking the law, get out of my business. Hey, Ginger. So just be prepared that you are about getting inundated, with stuff that you're going to, why am I getting that?
It's already happening. I
know it has, because there is somebody on my Facebook group that messaged me asking me about the thing called OnlyFans. I know what it is because the person I used to live next to was joining it, and she told me about it. So I had to go look it up to see what the heck it was, and then I immediately got away from it. It's Facebook porn is what it is. It's porn put up on Facebook. That's what it is. I don't want nothing to do with it. But seeing as how me and this other person were talking about it, for the last 2 weeks, the ads on my Facebook have been, hey, join us. No, get the crap. And I keep clicking, don't show me this no more. And it keeps showing it to me anyway. I don't want it. I have no business looking at it. It has no business being on Facebook, in my personal opinion. Anyway, just be prepared.
For those type of things, I don't just do the, hide, don't show it anymore. I go and just report it as a violation.
But the problem is Facebook is allowing it. They know exactly what it is. Yeah. Zuckerberg knows exactly what it is. He's allowing it, maybe because he's got his hands in the pocket of somebody there.
Probably.
Who knows? But,
I'll be right back. My bell's ringing again.
But, we don't want to listen to him yell at his cat. Mm-hmm.
Wrong cat. That was not Hooples.
Well, Maccabeus, if I was breaking the law, I'd be doing it in such a way that they'd know it. I'm not very subtle. I'm too old to be subtle anymore.
Yeah.
Well, to a degree, Martha, to a degree it is. Apple itself has already stated they allow, I'm not saying its name because I don't want it to go off and rat me out, because it will.
The name of their automated device?
Yes. It listens even when the phone is in do not disturb mode. No, I didn't. Which one, Nina? The one right above your last one there? I muted him. No, the start page is not an anonymous search page. Sorry. If you want to be anonymous, turn on incognito mode. And they still read that anyway, so it's really not doing you any good. All it does is block cookies.
Yeah, unless you have some Red Hat software to...
I can neither confirm nor deny. Virtual private networks, VPNs can get around most of it. Unfortunately, here's the catch-all 22 to that. Or as they say down south, here's the rub. You're using their device, okay, their software. When you install Google or Mozilla or Internet Explorer or whatever they want to call it in this day and age, or any other search engine, you signed a contract stating that they can see what you're typing. That's a contract. It's a legal binding contract because you said yes when you installed the software. Okay, so even on a virtual private network, while it's harder to trace where you're at, they can still see what you're doing. So, if you're going to go with, a VPN or NordVPN or whatever, yeah, you can hide where you're at. You can actually use NordVPN and make it think you're in Bulgaria and watch some YouTube videos that are only for Bulgaria. You can get away with that. The problem is that history is still stored on your side. And the minute you connect to a regular network again, guess who gets all that information? The people you signed a contract with. So you can hide what you're doing for a minute. they will eventually still find out. Yes, Ginger, tinfoil hats are now completely useless. Hey, CB. See what I mean? I didn't even say its name, and it popped up. Hello? What can I do for you? They don't like when you're tattletale on them, and I'm tattletaling. Nanny, boo-boo. Anywho, Instagram. We can't leave them out of it. They have new terms of use. We all pretty much know what they can do. They can track your personal information. They can share your personal info. They have access to your camera and microphone.
And they can block you if you just support Trump.
Right.
Exactly.
Because they're part of the Chinese government. Ask his wife.
But here's something. Let's say you go in and say on Instagram, you post a picture and you realize, hey, look, that's got my neighbor's kid in there. I don't want to take a picture of my neighbor's kid. I want to delete that right now. Okay, that I'm not being polite to my neighbors. You click delete. You figure, crisis averted. My neighbor's not going to get mad at me. It was an accident, but I'm still not going to do it. I want to respect my neighbors, which in this day and age is a dying thing. When you request to delete any sort of content on your account, email addresses, post, comment, credit card information. Read that last one. Credit card information. What? It could take up to 90 days for it to come off your account. So for 90 days, Instagram's still going to have access to that information, which means that picture that you tried to delete, maybe they think, oh, wow, this might actually go viral. And they go ahead and take that picture and post it up on one of their members' pages. And all of a sudden, now your neighbor's kid has plastered over 400 billion computers after you tried to stop it. Yes, that's an extreme case, and no, that's probably not the way it's going to work, but that's the premise behind what's going to happen. 99% of online stores keep your personal data. Tech Wellness says they don't. I don't believe any of it. But it gets
they only keep 98.
Yeah, probably 90. Yeah, hey, Carol. Fish and loaves. I wouldn't be surprised if it did buffer. And who knows? Maybe I'll start looking like Max Headroom and twitching all over the place.
Now you look like Urban Grandpa Prepper with the circle in the middle and you're frozen in mid-sentence.
Yeah. All right. They won't delete your content at all if it fits any of these four categories. To investigate or identify illegal activity or violations of the terms of policies. In other words, to identify
Anything.
Right. Basically anything they think violates it. They think violates it. To protect the safety and security of our products. Mind you, they won't delete your content. So if your content breaches their security of their product systems and users, they're not going to delete it. They're not going to delete it. Well, isn't that kind of backwards? If I post something that may, let's say I happen to get a screenshot of one of their admins' computers as he's typing in the password to go in and do a system work. And I post that up on Instagram. They're not going to delete it. That doesn't make sense, does it?
Does that mean are they not going to delete it from their servers, or are they going to not delete it from public access?
They may limit public access to it, but they're not deleting it. They're keeping that so they can use it for their own nefarious benefits.
Yeah.
All right.
They will not delete your information, the stuff, if it complies with legal obligations such as preservation of evidence. That one I understand. If they find something that there's a legal activity, let's say it's something to do with a court case, they're not going to delete that. That I agree with 100%.
Or they're looking for blackmail material.
Right. Well, and the 3 and 4 are pretty much the same thing. It's judicial or administrative authority, law enforcement, or government agency. Oh, wait. Did y'all catch that last part they tried to hide at the very bottom? I wish I could type in here or all ABC groups.
Like NSA. Oops, sorry. Nobody social program. Or is it agency? I forget.
Right. Just right here. Be very careful what you post. It will be used against you in some way. There's no if, ands, or buts. It will be. Did you have anything, Mr. Gill?
Well, all I know is that because what some of the comments in there earlier interesting is that certain governments, federal, state, counties, and stuff have gotten hold of a VPN through a contract with a certain government agency that basically these guys are still trying to hack into it.
Well, here's the rub. Okay, and mind you, this is I've been playing with computers far longer than some of you folks out there have been alive. When you use anything that's software based, it can be hacked.
Yeah.
NordVPN has been hacked. McAfee has been hacked. Norton has been hacked. Recently, a meatpacking plant has been hacked. We had a power grid hacked. The last several days of all these ransomwares have been coming up, and they're not your typical ransomware anymore. It's called Jacket. I think that's what it was called. I'd have to look it up again.
Yes, it was.
And it is highly intrusive. Okay, and it's hard to explain in a way that everybody will understand it. And I apologize for that. But as simply as I can put it, anything that's software-based can be hacked, and if it can be hacked, it can be ransomed. Your computer, extremely hackable.
Yep.
I hate to say his name, so cover your ears, Nina. Plug him. In 3, 2, 1, plug. Prepper X. He works as an IT type person for agencies which will remain unnamed. It's his job to watch out for those kind of attacks. And back when I was not on the persona non grata list, back a couple of years ago, we were talking back then of how more often the attacks are getting. And I can guarantee right now, if I were to ask him if he would talk, he would say they're considerably more intrusive than they used to be. The U.S. is attacked 200-300 times a day in various subsystems. And they're all software based. Hardware is harder to hack. It can still be done because it takes software to do it. But software, every software program out there has a back door. The person who creates it creates a back door. So for whatever reason they get locked out of it, they can actually sneak back in and get back control of it. One of the reasons, I can't think of it now. Novell.
Right.
One of the reasons Novell actually started to fall out of popularity is because a lot of people learned there's one major backdoor that if the system admin for that array didn't lock it out, there's a backdoor that anybody knew anything about Novell could get in there. The casino I used to work at used to use Novell 5. I was trained and I am certified as a Novell 5 system administrator. I showed them in less than 30 seconds how I could actually hack their system and crash it. They no longer use Novell. So they did the right thing.
Oh, Dave, how about all the recent cyber attacks today and the U.S. Congress?
Yeah, that's part of the whole thing. It's part of the Jacket thing. And say if it's software, they can get to it. I see nothing, Miss Nina. So you guys are not as safe as you once thought you were. They're getting more and more invasive.
Oh, Dave, can I put in a point?
Uh-huh.
It's not Russia. It's everybody else in the world. Everybody Russia does its own bit, but the biggest ones are China, North Korea. I forgot the third, Dave.
Russia's third. When it
Russia,
comes down to it, China's number one. When it comes to
right?
hacking the U.S. systems, it's China mainly. Now, let me preface that by saying there is a group of Russian hackers. They are a very large group, splintered off into smaller subgroups. And it's a subgroup that usually gets hit. But by the time the subgroup is figured out, like they said, this last ransomware attack on the meat plant was Russian hackers. Well, they only got a little bit of the whole greater picture. But they're still third when it comes to China and North Korea. For such a small nation, North Korea is very active with its cronies on trying to hack things.
Oh yeah,
Because-
they got a good one. Days know what I'm talking about. Is the North Korean drugs to Canada route, and they've been hacking that under I can't say his name, and I can't use Damas.
You just did.
What Damas? Or shoot.
Yeah, we know what you mean.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm not supposed to. I'm going to say this on Friday. Sorry. Go ahead, Dave. I'm kind of losing it.
It's okay. But, there's no polite way of saying it that doesn't get me literally kicked off YouTube faster than I could say, wow, what happened? There's just no way to do it. And so I'm not going to. And the only thing we have as Joe Schmo public is to do our best. A, not to do anything you ain't supposed to do in the first dang place.
Mhm.
If it's illegal somewhere, don't do it. Don't put your name in the radar and the crosshairs of any government agency for whatever reason. Because the minute your name is in a government agency, somebody has access to your personal information, and it's usually not the agency itself that originally got the information. When I joined the Army, my name got put in the federal database. It'll never come out, ever. If you've served in law enforcement, you're in public. You are in a federal database. Al's in the federal database. He served in the military.
4 of them.
So if you've served in the military or law enforcement, I'm trying, Mouse. I'm trying. You are already in a government database. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The minute you served in a position like that, you are automatically put there. If you own a firearm, even though they say there's no such thing as a national registry, anytime somebody submits an application for a license just to purchase one, I'm not talking about CCW or whatever state wants to call it in their state. Yes, or DOD. You are automatically put into a database. This person on this date applied for a license for this weapon. It's there. So when they keep telling, we need a national registry, there is already one there. Now, is it monitored? No, but it's there nonetheless. And I've argued with somebody who is in politics before, and they said, no, it's not. And I told them, yes, it is. I said, go talk to the Ways and Means Committee and have one of their little people go out and hit the side. And came back about a year and a half later, said, you're correct. I said, no crap. I keep my ears to the ground. I listen to things. My mouth is usually shut. And when I was taught as a kid to keep your eyes open and your mouth shut. Eyes and ears open, your mouth shut. You'll learn things. And as many times as I've been across this country, as much time as I spent in various military bases, picking up loads as well as serving, as much time as I spent in Washington, D.C. at some warehouses that can't be named, which thankfully one of them was only an hour. And it was delivering documents from another state. 20,000 pounds worth of documents because the building was being closed. And it was all being taken to Washington to be destroyed. It's fun having a police escort across multiple state lines. in unmarked cars where when you stop for fuel, there's a car in front of you and a car behind you, and everybody's looking at you like you did something wrong. I was just a bad boy. But you meet people and you make friendships. And when nobody's listening, they relay such information to you. It's like, don't tell them where you got this, but keep your eyes open for this. And most of the time I go, man, these guys are so far out there, they need a bigger tinfoil hat than I do. Only to find out 5, 6, 7 months later, what they were telling me is actually true. It's not that I don't trust them. I don't discount what they're saying, but I'm very cautious to what I listen to, which is why at times I've had information that months later has bared out to be correct. I'm not somebody important. I don't live in the bottom of the DOD ciphering off information. And if I did, they wouldn't know it anyway.
Oh, another nice trick, folks. If you have one of these, remember the EMP bags? You could put your phone in that.
Actually, just for standard stuff, you can put it in a regular Mylar bag and it'll block it.
Yep.
Just regular Mylar bag will block your phone. And I've proven that to several people. They told me, you can't block cell phone signals. So I took out a Mylar bag unused out of my cupboard that I use for food stuff, stuck my phone in it, said, call me. Sitting 2 feet from the phone and they can't get through. Ah, cool, Rebel. Got anything else there, Mr. Gill?
Just looking something up just to be a little smarty. And there it is.
And if you guys haven't been paying attention to what's up on the screen, I left it here for a reason. I'm not going to read it, but pay attention to this.
Well, seeing how my phone here has no access to the internet, has no access to Instagram, no access to Facebook. Not too worried about that. Not too worried much about and so it's basically Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So it's totally you
Froze.
It's totally you instant twit face free.
Oh, and I want to say to everybody, in certain countries, Japan and Britain, they have what? And everybody has to be careful of them because anybody with a smartphone or a hacker can upload it fairly easy. I keep telling you this to people, and they're looking at me like I'm crazy. Japan and England has closed circuit TV. So if you're going to the bathroom, they'll notice you going into the bathroom, and they'll be monitoring you when you get out of the bathroom. And how many people that followed you into the bathroom.
Like this mouse? Okay, let me see if I can explain this. And if it's over y'all's head, I apologize in advance. Sometimes I don't know how to bring things down to a non-technical level, but I'll try. Some of y'all may or may not have heard of a operating system called Linux. Okay, the original computer language was called Unix. Okay, then Windows and Apple did their thing to it, and now Windows has nothing left of Unix except the shell. And it's inside Windows itself. It's no longer anything that like it used to be. Linux is written on Unix. So is Apple, basically. Apple still is, for the most part. So anybody that has an Apple can be hacked relatively easily from a hacker who knows how to use any kind of Unix-based coding, whether it be Linux, Red Hat, and one of the plethora of many others.
Okay.
I used to play with Linux myself. I used Red Hat. I used Linux, which is a little penguin dude. I used to use them. I use them on every system. Every computer I've ever had up until this one here has been a multi-boot system. I've had Linux, Unix, and a Windows setup on them. That way, if I needed to do some work and it not be tracked as easily, I would always boot into my Unix or Red Hat or Linux system, whichever I was using at that moment, and do what I had to do.
Right. Texas Rob had a question
I
about.
answered it.
You did? Okay. Thank you very much, Gil.
Yeah, about the ammo can. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I put in there an answer to it, because basically as is, know that it has several defects as is as an ammo can that need to be addressed before it can act as a Faraday cage.
Right. And didn't you guys do a live stream on this?
We
Yeah,
did
I
live stream on
I have done it a couple times.
Yep. And I showed on one of my old videos on I made a Faraday. It's not a true Faraday cage, but it's an EMP cage.
Right. So folks, go back and check those guys' videos and live streams.
Yeah, I've had 2 live streams on EMPs specifically, and we talked about that. One earlier this year and one early last year. And Dave has had, what, 2 or 3?
Yep.
Then it comes up and up, incidentally to other stuff too, like the grid going down and stuff like that as well. Yeah, Kaylin, on some of those videos on how to make a Faraday box out of an ammo can, some of them are missing some key ingredients. So basically, it's not going to work right.
Let me jump on Steve's coattails here for a second. We were discussing on Monday a certain channel, which will remain nameless, in the PJF person, touting how they know all how to do other stuff. And PJF put up a video, I want to say like 5-6 years ago, on how to make Faraday cage safe and secure. And it's no longer up on his channel because he got called out on it when he was told he was full of crap. By not just me. I'm not the smartest crayon on the box, although I am pretty damn sharp. And I draw some pretty small lines because I'm pretty sharp. I've studied EMP stuff, not because I want to do it, because I want to protect myself. For the same reason when I drove truck, I studied the DOT Green Book, a little teeny book about that thick, that's only that wide and that wide. The words are extremely tiny, very, very tiny. You need a magnifying glass to read the crap. I didn't learn it to violate the law. I learned it to protect myself, as well as every state's traffic laws. There's a lot of useless information there crammed in here because of every state I had to drive through. Every state has little itty bitty teeny idiosyncrasies that make different states different. Like in Michigan, back roads are 55 mile an hour unless otherwise posted. In Ohio, they're 45 mile an hour unless otherwise posted, unless they've changed it recently. Okay, so every state has different, and that's rural roads, not major highways. Hi, Sarah. So I didn't learn everything to use it against the man, so to speak. I did it to protect myself and the ones I care about. Right now, I learned about things like EMPs, natural disasters, to make sure that I can protect my son. I've already had a full life for the most part. But I have a now 10-year-old son that I have to do my best to make sure that if I were to leave tomorrow, he's got enough stuff. I've taught him enough to where he's going to continue trying to pursue that information on his own, which right now is kind of a struggle. But I'm doing what I can to further his knowledge. He knows he can actually feather stick. He's not good at it. He knows how to baton wood. He's not good at it, but those skills will come over time. He knows that he made an upside down fire as a school project. He did it himself. He knows some of the information. I taught it to him not so he can go burn down a building, as some leftists would say I did. I did it so if he was ever trapped somewhere and he's cold and he's got the materials, he can make a fire to stay warm or cook some food. So, I mean, his teachers, when I suggested, I said, look, can he do this without getting in trouble? She said, what? I said, he wants to make because I did a video on making a fire, and he wanted to make an upside down fire because we watched a video on YouTube on how to do it. Because one of the people I subscribed to did it, and we, of course, were watching their video. Charles said, I want to do that for school. So I had to ask his teachers, and the teacher said, fine, as long as he doesn't bring it to school. I said, no, he won't bring fire to school yet. He really, now, mind you, in his innocent mind, he thought it would be okay to take the stuff to school to do it at school. I told him, no, we'll have to do it home. I'll take a video. I'll give you the SD card. You take it to your teachers at school. And that's what we did. And he got an A+ on it because the teacher seen that he did the work. Yep, there's fire in that chat.
Now, the bad thing about all this stuff and the cookies and the trackers and the tracers and stuff, it's a form of systematic, because once they got all your information, they could pre-program a system. So anything you type in will affect your mind and you don't know about it.
It's called subliminal coaching. They've been doing it since the 70s.
Yep.
And this might actually get me a knock on the door. I doubt it, but I may get a hit on this one because some channels, when they discuss this, do get hit. And it's called MK Ultra. And for the longest time, up to the 60s, 70s, well, actually 50s, 60s, 70s, and most of the 80s, it was denounced as fear porn propaganda. The right wing, ultra right wing people are just absolutely nuts in their head, and there's no such thing as MK Ultra. Well, in recent years, it's been proven that it is a thing, and it's been proven what they did, which is unconstitutional, deplorable to say the least. But they learned that, and you want to know where they got it? Germany. Did y'all hear me? Germany. That's where they got the idea from, because some of the people that came over from World War II over here, who were scientists over there, were teaching our guys how they did it. So our guys started doing it. Okay, it's fact. It's all out there. It's public record now. Okay, so this isn't fear porn. I'm not throwing out, BS to make it stick to a wall. It's the truth. You can find it. I'll do is look.
All right, and here's some clues, folk. Look under Operation Paperclip, and there's 42 universities are guilty as charged, because I read, they were tracking billing, and I read in 1975 they closed out what Dave says was the first wave of what, Dave, and Dave knows what I'm talking about. They shut it down in 1975. And then they had to shut it down again in 1979 because they missed a couple of universities. And so all those people in that project that Dave said, guess where they went?
Congress?
Nope.
No, most of them disappeared.
Nope, most of them went to Wall Street. And I'm not kidding about that.
Under assumed names, but yes.
Go follow the trail. They're big in certain ad companies like Target and McDonald's. And I forgot Disney. Disney was a big hirer. Look at that, Von Braun and those guys.
You're right, Martha. LSD trials on students was not good. But here's what it comes down to. The older people that can remember this from the late 60s, early 70s, my age group, can remember the old, and earlier, of course, the old commercials, TV commercials. They actually had a family value and meaning to it. Yes, it was a commercial for soap or cat food or Spam or Oscar Mayer wieners. We can remember those commercials. They were cute. They were funny, but they weren't stupid. Commercials today are designed by left-wing, I don't know what's, wingnuts. And they're designed in such a way to literally make you dumb for every second you watch it. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go buy car insurance just because a little teeny green lizard on the TV says you can save 15% or more with Geico. Or is it Geico? Who cares? I don't care. That little green thing isn't going to make me want to go buy car insurance. Matter of fact, it's going to irritate me to the point where I won't buy car insurance from them because I'm sick and tired of seeing the stupid commercials. It's literally to dumb down, and they've actually put out papers on it. Harvard, Yale, Berkeley have all put out papers on how the American populace is getting more dumb by the year. Do you guys remember back when Obamacare first came out? And one of the senators who was one pushing it, his exact words, and I quote him directly stating, the American populace is too stupid to read the document. They will never understand it. Unquote. Okay, so that's what they think of us. They think we're too stupid. Buried also inside that is the RFID chip thing. 670 pages or 700 pages, I don't remember. Mouse, I don't know what you're talking about. So you ain't nothing to worry about. All right, Nina. All right.
I think she's starting a rumor out there just to start a rumor. Get more people checking out her videos to see, all right, maybe she's going to give us a clue to what's happened in high school.
No.
But anyway, folks, if you go and do your research like Dave and Jill and I have and see what they've been doing, and I kind of like was it Google with the FLOC? FLOC? Is that FLOC or with a K?
Yes, it's Google.
Oh,
it's FLOC.
That's not a FLOC. I thought it was FLOC, like a flock of sheep
from Google,
like a flock of sheep or sheeple, herding them in.
But they refer to it as FLOC, I believe.
Yeah.
Not has nothing to do with Pelosi.
Let's just put it this way. Stuff at the top is starting to roll downhill. Or where does crap roll? Hey, Dustin.
Hi, Dustin.
No problem. Hey, family stuff takes priority over my stupid YouTube channel. Take care of the family stuff, please. I will not fault anybody for not being here because I got family obligations. Not at all. Not once. You go take care of that and come back to replay. Watch the replay later. I'm good with that. But crap rolls downhill. It's already starting to roll downhill at the top as it is. Certain things are falling apart compared to what they wanted.
Right.
We're now 6 months in, and creepy Uncle Joe there, he's not looking too good up on stage. He's missing certain things on the teleprompter, which if you watch his facial expressions, you'll see it. You'll see there are times when he's talking and it looks like his eyes are rolling into the back of his head. Okay. He's falling into the trap that they want so they can make somebody else POTUS.
Really quick.
It's no longer a secret anymore. They're actually touting it already in Congress. Hey, he's getting awful suspect. We may have to go this route. They've already publicly said it now. So what I told y'all at the beginning of the year was going to happen, they're starting to try and make it happen.
Yep.
Okay. If you all go do your research and listen to what's being said in certain circles, and you don't have to take everything that's said as that's exactly what's going to happen, but just keep an open mind, keep your ears open and listen, and you'll find out certain things that show up a few months later.
Hey, so, Dave.
Yes, sir.
I've noticed this on certain times that I'm using the Internet Explorer. In the bottom right-hand corner there, you got it. It's showing on your screen there for the privacy terms.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so whatever those things are, I try as much as I can get rid of them. I can't get rid of them until I close that particular tab.
Yep. Hey, Bama.
Okay, Gil, we're at almost the top of the hour.
Yeah, I know I need to slide out of here. So I'm going to throw the link
Careful.
to my live
Hey,
stream.
careful. Don't break my monitor again, doggone it.
No,
I already
just-
broke it once. I can't afford to replace the second one.
Okay,
that was you beating on it, not me.
I gotta kill my neighbor's cat because the alarms are going off again.
All right. We'll see you over there.
And let me put this here.
Understood, CR, and I totally agree with you. He's trying, Mouse. He's trying. He's having technical difficulties at his end.
Bingo. There's the link with the title of it. So I'm going to head over and get that started up and while you wrap it up here. And I'll hopefully see everybody over there on Gray Man Prepping, spelled with an A, not an E. I'm not British. And I'll see you over there.
See it. All right. And for the last few moments here, I'm got several items that are, I think, interesting. One of which is very survival related, one that is kind of survival related, one that is just plain out complete and utter fun. Excuse me. As well as another one that I think is useful for everybody here. There will be links in the descriptions of these if I can remember them. I'm getting old, I'm forgetful. I do have another tech one coming up in the next or tomorrow. If you don't want to watch that one, I understand it's computer related stuff. But yeah, I've got a couple reviews coming up soon. So we'll have something other than live streams for y'all to look at. So that's it for today. We'll see you either over at Gill's in a minute, or we'll see y'all Friday evening. Until next time, be safe and God bless.